Let's dive right into this explainer and demystify a topic that has truly become a cornerstone of modern aquarium keeping. We're looking at RO/DI water today. Specifically, we'll see how utilizing it can drastically improve the long-term health of both freshwater and delicate reef aquariums. If you've ever felt like you're fighting an uphill battle with your tank's chemistry, well, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to this. So let me ask you, is your water chemistry a gamble? If you consistently struggle with fluctuating parameters or you find yourself constantly battling those awful nuisance algae blooms, I want you to know you're not alone. Tap water is just notoriously unpredictable. Depending on where you live, what time of year it is, and even the age of your local plumbing, what actually comes out of your faucet can change wildly from day to day. But as we'll see, actively controlling your inputs is absolutely one of the most effective ways to support long-term tank health. Section 1. The cleaner baseline, removing the gambles of tap water. Think about what happens when you use untreated tap water. You're basically rolling out the red carpet for unstable nutrients, wildly fluctuating total dissolved solids, or TDS for short, and hidden trace contaminants right into your closed ecosystem. And those unpredictable elements? They're exactly what drive nuisance algae and cause crazy swings in your water hardness. But on the flip side, we have RO/DI water. By starting with this much cleaner baseline, you're finally taking the reins. You get controlled inputs and significantly fewer swings in your chemistry, which means you can actively prevent outbreaks and maintain a really stable environment. Section 2. Defining ROI and DI. Busting the jargon. Okay, let's tackle the RO half of the equation first, which stands for reverse osmosis. This process pushes water through a semi-permeable membrane, and honestly, that membrane does the heavy lifting for us. It physically rejects a massive portion of dissolved contaminants, stripping out major problems like unwanted salts and heavy metals before they ever reach your tank. It's incredibly effective, though it's worth noting that depending on your source water and your specific system, trace amounts of certain substances might still sneak through. And that brings us perfectly to the DI, or deionization phase. You can think of the DI unit as the ultimate finisher for your water. It typically uses a mixed bed ion exchange resin to polish the output that just came from the RO membrane. It acts kind of like a powerful magnet, capturing those stubborn remaining ions. By pairing these two processes together, we achieve the very low total dissolved solids, that super low TDS number, that we actively target for pristine aquarium use. Section 3. Why low mineral water helps. Consistency is critical. Here's the thing, so many of the common headaches we face in this hobby are indirectly tied to those invisible, dissolved minerals and contaminants. By committing to low mineral water, you unlock some huge benefits. First off, you completely eliminate that crusty scale buildup on your expensive heaters and pumps. Second, you stop those unwanted spikes in general hardness that can totally destabilize a sensitive system. Third, for the saltwater folks out there, starting with low TDS water guarantees that your salt mixes will have a perfectly consistent ionic balance every single time you mix a batch. And finally, you massively reduce the risk of introducing trace contaminants from your city's aging plumbing. And you know, this level of consistency? It's absolutely vital, especially for delicate reef setups. Corals and many invertebrates are highly sensitive organisms. They respond incredibly strongly to even the smallest changes in water chemistry. By reducing the variability in your source water, you're providing the rock-solid, stable parameters that these fascinating creatures absolutely demand to thrive. Section 4. Where to use it. Practical applications in your tank. So let's talk about where this actually hits the water. These are your core, high-impact tasks. Number 1, and this is a big one, is evaporation top-off. When water evaporates from your tank, the minerals do not evaporate with it, they stay behind. If you top off that tank with tap water, you're actively concentrating more and more minerals into your system every single day. RODI water stops that dead in its tracks. Beyond that, it's the perfect blank slate for mixing salt water, preparing for water changes, or even just rinsing your equipment so you don't leave any mineral residue behind. Now hold on, don't make the mistake of thinking this is only a tool for the hardcore reef keepers. Freshwater, planted aquascapes, and delicate freshwater setups benefit massively from RO/DI water too. If your local tap water is intensely hard, naturally high in TDS, or if it fluctuates throughout the year because of seasonal changes in your municipal source, an RO/DI system gives you the exact same predictable control that the reef keepers enjoy. Section 5. Maintenance still matters. The reality check. Okay, time for a quick reality check because this is vital to understand. RO/DI systems do one thing incredibly well. They handle your inputs. They reduce a massive source of uncertainty and control the quality of the water entering the tank. But the foundation of true aquarium health will always be your good husbandry. You still absolutely need proper filtration, stable temperatures, smart nutrient management, and regular testing. RO/DI is a powerful partner to those practices, for sure, but it doesn't replace them. And hey, the systems themselves require a little TLC too. These units physically process hundreds, sometimes thousands of gallons of water. That means your DI resin will eventually exhaust, your RO membranes will slowly wear down, and your pre-filters can definitely clog up, especially if your tap water has a lot of sediment. This is exactly why practical TDS monitoring is a non-negotiable. You have to regularly test the output to confirm the system is actually still doing its job. So, you kind of have to ask yourself a few questions to decide if this investment makes sense for you. What is your current tap water profile? Is it liquid rock or is it fairly soft? How sensitive is the livestock you're trying to keep? And maybe most importantly, how often do you find your parameters drifting inexplicably? For a lot of aquarists facing hard water or keeping delicate corals, pairing an RO/DI system with a consistent water change routine is the secret sauce that finally unlocks their tank's true potential. I love how the source material puts this. With controlled inputs and reliable monitoring, RO/DI isn't just an extra purification step, it fundamentally shifts the paradigm. It, quote, turns water chemistry from a gamble into a manageable, repeatable part of aquarium care. It literally takes the guesswork out of the whole shebang. Which brings us to our final thought for today. Are you ready to stop rolling the dice and start controlling your aquarium's baseline? Just think about how a predictable, rock-solid water routine could utterly transform the vibrancy of your tank. Whether you're growing sensitive SPS corals or cultivating a lush planted aquascape, what is your first step toward that pristine, repeatable baseline going to be today?